Hey everybody, welcome back to Let's Play .hack.gu. This is some type of artist. To start this episode off, we are actually going to go visit the Vital Vista that we did the quest for in the last episode. He's over in this, they call it the Mercenary District. Well, this is actually one of the more visited districts in the game. It has, well, you'll find out later. The guilds you'll visit, you access through this area of the game, as well as item shops, magic shops, which I visit more often in a little while. But this is where this guy lives. He collects Chim Chim data. So basically, every time you kick Chim Chim and get Chim Spheres, he records your progress on how much you've collected overall. He'll also do your progress on King Chim Chims or... Well, I don't get any Chim Assassins in this game, but if you carry too many Chim Spheres with you at a time, there's a chance that a little red Chim Chim with a ninja blade ninja star, rather, will just drop down on you and steal Chim Spheres. So for our first reward, we got a scroll that teached us Repth, which I know I said before that I probably won't be teaching many scrolls to Haseo, but that was more magic-wise. Healing-wise, that's a different story. Because everybody can benefit from knowing healing magic. In fact, I'd almost recommend going out of your way to teach everybody it, if you have the money. So in our mail center, Atoli here, since you insisted, I decided to email you. There's an area word that I love, and I was wondering if you would like to join me. The area is blah 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 blah. Sincerely, Atoli. And this next one is from Black Rose. Well, have you calmed down a bit since then? I feel like I've managed to get back to my life. I do feel kind of lonely at not being able to log into the world though, but since I refuse to let Kazu play online games, I can't justify myself playing them myself. Are you playing together with Orca? Or was Orca banned just like Kazu? Back then I didn't have any idea as to what was going on. I was just plowing ahead, doing whatever was set before me to do. I'm so glad we managed to resolve it. So here's why I'm emailing. I wanted to say this when we had that offline party, but I wasn't able to work up the courage. I'm glad I got to know you. Sure, I was a surprise when I found out you were younger than me, and when I saw you acting so insecure, I may have yelled at you a bit, but if it wasn't for you, I think I never would have been able to help Kazu. If I had tried to help him all by myself, I might have ended up just like he did. I think it was because you were there that I was able to go as far as I did. I think it was because you were there that I was able to make it to the end. So let me say this back to you now. If you hadn't been there, I could never have done it. Thank you. I think I might be in love with you. Psych. I might still log in from time to time. If I do, I hope you and I can have a nice, normal adventure together. That is a little Easter egg bonus thing. If you have the original .hack data on your memory card when you start GU, you have the option of converting it when you start the game. And this was one of the bonuses you got for that. Black Rose was your partner in the first game, and somehow this email that was intended for the protagonist of the first game, Kite, ended up in Haseo's inbox. So that was a sweet little Easter egg that I enjoyed.
So, would you please invite me to your party?
He's so happy.
The two of us will be heading to Delta Submissive Tragedy's Thousand Oaks.
It's always funny to hear an area name just spoken out loud because of how ridiculous it sounds, because it's just basically a number of random words. So, Atoli wants you to go to this area by herself. I invited Syllabus just to try to get the extra experience, but it'll stop you if you have anyone but just Atoli in your party. So unfortunately, we'll just miss out on experience. Whatever. Honestly, Syllabus probably wouldn't have gotten too much experience since he's a bit of a higher level. But it always annoys me when you're forced to go on like solo or just with two people, because I don't know, there's just like no reason not to bring them.
Don't send me an email in the first
Shh,
place.
he's so rude. God, this guy, man.
This is one of my very favorite areas. The moon tonight looks even prettier than usual.
Prettier than usual? Yeah, right, come on. I mean, this is just an online
God,
game.
Haseo, you are just, like, so unfun.
Find the big statue.
I actually, not so much in this game, because there isn't as much for me to that, like, hits me home in this game, but in the first series of games, there were a lot of genuinely nice, serene areas, so I get what Atoli's talking about. Like, I used to just go into first-person mode in the first series and just leave the game on for, like, a half an hour or an hour, just, like, enjoying the sound effects and the music and the scenery, like, in the background while I did homework and stuff. It's a shame there's not many more times in this game that I feel I would want to do something like that. Like I said, there's so few areas compared to the first series, and the ones that are there, I wouldn't exactly call them particularly atmospheric. But yeah, since Atoli is, well, I guess this would be a good time to explain some job classes. So Haseo is an adept rogue, which means he'll be able to juggle variety of different job classes. The one he has available right now is Twin Blade. So he attacks fast, uses dual swords. This is a lucky animal, by the way. Every area has a lucky animal, and they all have different effects if you kick them. So that's kind of what Haseo is about right now, just short, rapid attacks. Atoli here is a Harvest Cleric. She's basically your white mage. The reason why she's running around like an idiot in a lot of the battles here is because her current strategy, I guess it's called, is set to heal. So she'll start healing Haseo once he gets to a certain point in his HP. You can also change her to free will, so if she can go around and attack more enemies. If she has different attack spells, she might use them instead. I'll change the strategies once in a little bit, once I remember that they're a thing in this game. Syllabus is a blade brandier. He's basically just your standard swordsman. He's got higher attack than Haseo would as a twin blade. And he attacks at a decent pace. Gaspard is a shadow warlock. He's basically the black mage. That's also why he was running around not doing anything, because for whatever reason, and I'll find this out later, he was set to heal as well. And he doesn't actually have any healing spells, so he'd just use items. But for now, that's it. I'll talk more about different job classes as we meet characters that have them. But yeah, so in the first series, Kite, the main character, was also a twin blade, but he was more of a balanced stat character. So he was actually one of the better classes to use magic with. In the first game, magic played a bigger role. You'd have situations where physical attacks wouldn't be very good, or you might want to take advantage of an enemy's elemental weakness instead, and just use Kite to cast magic. Haseo doesn't really have the stats to make that worthwhile. So that's one thing that changed between Twin Blades from the first series and the GU series. Oh, and this thing is annoying. So in most areas you'll run into Mecha Grunty here. He is a mechanical Grunty, so Grunties return from the first series, although they are kind of different than they were before. They're still little pig creatures. You can give Chim Spheres to a Mecha Grunty whenever he's in the area, if you choose to do so. He'll get up and fly away and crash into an area, but he'll leave behind an item for you. He's also related to one of the Vital Vista quest shop areas. So I guess further on you'll be getting rewards if you choose to rescue him enough times.
Not interested.
God, Haseo, I fucking hate you so much.
It won't hurt you just to
It
listen.
literally won't. He's
Moonstone
such a
is run by
dick.
council of officers known as the Seven Council. You remember who Sakaki is, right? He is one of the officers.
Man, I don't have time for
Haseo,
this.
you literally have, like, all the time in the world. You're a nerd that level grinded to level 133. But yeah, the thing that sucks with Mecha Grunty is, though, you gave him 5. I gave him 5 for this past area. He will need increasing amounts of Chim Spheres every time you meet him. All the way up to he needs 50 at once. And that's dumb. That's a pain in the ass to have to need that many each time you meet him, because it'll go 5, 6, 7, 8, etc., etc. So even though it seems small at first, later on it's gonna be like he needs so much just to get whatever reward it is. And I don't remember what reward it is. I think I got the first part. It was like a special type of armor, but by the time I got it, it was just like pointless. And look at me, just trying to get that sneak attack in. Yeah, I decided to cut a lot of these battles out since they were very repetitive, and it's just Haseo doing the same thing over and over, and because the episode was already, like, over half an hour long, I cut it down to about 25 minutes, and even that feels pretty long, but to be fair, the last 10 minutes is a pretty important cutscene. Oh, so you don't actually you manually equip your characters in this volume. You can give your allies different items to use. In fact, you got to keep up on it. You got to make sure they have health restoring items, SP restoring items, status restoring items. You'll give them equipment, and it drives me crazy. You can't manually like check someone's equipment and like what level it's at. Because equipment is always associated with levels in this game. That's something that they changed from the first series that really kind of makes it feel very underwhelming in this one, because there aren't as many types of different equipment in the GU series, and since they're all associated to levels, which will determine when a character can equip it too. So like if you get like a level 7 piece of armor, you won't be able to equip that piece of armor until you're level 7 yourself. In the old series, your only real restriction was character classes as to who can equip what, but you can go out of your way and trade with other players to get like really strong equipment pretty early in the game, and it wasn't exactly broken because like strong skills were attached to them, and only strong skills, so you may be able to use a skill like once but then completely run out of SP. So it was like, how do you want to play the game? Do you want that extra defense that comes in stats at like the cost of not being able to use a lot of skills? Or it was great. It felt like there was a lot more options of what you can do back then. Here it's kind of like, okay, great, we got like a piece of armor. You have to use that piece of armor until you find the next one available that's going to be at a higher level. And oftentimes, some classes may not find like a piece of equipment they can use for like another 10 levels, and it just kind of like, it sucks. Skills aren't attached to equipment, so it just kind of feels like equipment is a very, very much a second thought in this series. Not to say that you shouldn't like keep up on other characters' equipment. The biggest thing that I think matters is you'll eventually be able to get more slots for higher level pieces of equipment for customizing with armor and weapon abilities, and that alone is probably worth more to me than the stats the armor gives you. Well, I don't know, maybe I wouldn't go say that far, but early game here, it feels like stats in your armor when you change to a new piece of equipment are like really detrimental. But yeah, Haseo's coming down to the end of his little adventure with Atoli that he never wanted to go on in the first place. He was a total lunkhead.
We've got what we came here for. We're going back to the town. Hey.
Hi.
Haseo?
What?
Man, God,
I've already heard
such an
enough
ad.
about moons
If he
and-
didn't want to go, he just shouldn't have went.
Do you hear
It just
something coming from over there?
it doesn't make sense to me.
Nope.
That can't be right. See? There is something there. Let's go find out what it is.
Atoli's got like this
Why do I have to go too? Just go check by
God, this
yourself.
guy.
Oh, come on. Won't you please come with?
Fine, fine. If it'll shut you up, I'll
I don't
go
know
with you.
why Atoli wants to spend any time with a guy that treats her so terribly, but well, I guess we'll see later on that that may just be a
What a strange sound.
flaw with Atoli in particular. But Atoli can hear like these sounds. I guess like when I mentioned in the last episode with the message board about the tuning fork sound being like a recurring theme in dot hack in general, she can hear those tuning fork sounds.
What a strange...
Or at least sounds that are those tuning forks. I mean, I don't know. You, the player, will hear them later on. And, you know, I don't even know if it's just limited to that sound. It might just be a sound that we're just never told about, but...
Listen to that. You can hear something coming from over there. Huh? What is it, Haseo?
This sign. It's Tri-Edge.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
What? Try it? Is that
Did Kite hear me talking about him?
what? Haseo!
You're being sucked towards Tri-Edge's sign.
Oh boy. So, this area here, I really like. This is one of the Lost Ground areas, like the cathedral and the waterfall.
Where?
And likewise, there is some really beautiful music that plays in it. The Lost Ground music is... The different Lost Grounds music are probably, like, the best pieces of music throughout the entire series. It makes it feel more like the original series in terms of tone.
Haseo, someone's there.
Not to, like, trash on GU's soundtrack or anything. Like, it's enjoyable enough, but I feel like a lot of it is just, like, kind of generic. Oh boy.
What is that? It's so pretty. That sound. It's coming from that person.
Kitty. The baby. So, you can probably tell this is the
That
the
guy?
pretty boy character
What's up
of
with
this
him?
game.
Well, let's go ask him. Wait, please.
It's dangerous! Stop!
It's Johnny Young Bosch, here to save the day.
What?
Uh-oh. Hi. No, Haseo's having Shino flashbacks again.
Hey!
Oh boy. What's happening now?
Stay back.
What over the top thing is about to happen? It's an online game. What's going on now? Oh boy.
skies.
Man. What anime hasn't that line come from? Oh boy. The eye thing. You might find eyes in particular are a recurring, like, motif in some parts of GU.
Whew. All done. You two okay?
That wink, man. You two okay? Wink. I like the yellow-blue color scheme with him.
Seem like I'm very welcomed here. Well, whatever. Hey, you over there. Are you okay?
Why does he say you over there? It's like, who else would he be talking to?
What happened to me?
What do you mean? What happened?
I think I was attacked by a strange monster.
Aw, look at Haseo helping her up.
A loud sound that startled me.
Like an unobnoxious person.
I don't remember anything after that.
What the? Did she faint in real life too? At any rate, I'm glad I got here in time.
Who are you?
Who, me? Oh, well, I'm an investigator for CC Corp.
One of the system administrators? A game master?
The
Well,
Game
something
Master.
like that. I got a report about a bug in this area, and so I rushed right over.
So, that monster was actually a bug?
Right. It would probably be best to stay away from here until the data finishes repairing. No.
Nuh-uh, I have something to say about this.
That was a bug data. How could a player faint from something like that? Not to mention, what was that giant puppet thing that defeated the monster?
Puppet?
So, you were able to see the Avatar.
The Last Airbender?
Avatar? That's right, Mr. Haseo, the Terror.
Oh,
of
I
Death.
wish people would stop using that.
Do CC Corp investigators usually remember a player's nickname? Hardly. I couldn't help but think it was too much of a coincidence to meet up with you here. What? Nothing. Just talking to myself. I bet that you would like to know a lot more about avatars. Am I right? Not really.
Shut up, Haseo.
You can use one too. Huh? The fact that you were able to see my avatar means that you and your character have the right attributes.
So basically, Kun is being
Your character hides
a
something.
lot less
There is a dangerous
stupidly
power.
cryptic than Pi was.
Come on. Come over to our headquarters.
He's
and we'll see.
going about this much better than her,
You might be able to get some info on Triad.
without sounding as
How did you? Who told you
much
about
as
that?
like, you're the chosen one.
That's just one more reason why you should come.
Hey, Sam made another friend. It's a Christmas miracle.
Looks like this is a big fiasco.
How can you just brush off something that happened to you?
What do you
like this?
care, Haseo?
What's
I thought you
wrong,
hated Atoli.
Haseo? Why are you acting so scary all of a sudden?
If we hadn't been lucky, you'd have. No, it's nothing.
Oh, okay. But I caused you a lot of trouble with what happened, right?
So you realize.
Man, Haseo, god damn it.
I'm sorry.
Someone kick your ass again.
Do you think that you could give me another chance?
Listen, the next time you invite me, make it somewhere where we can.
We
level
did
up.
level up, but whatever. And that was Atoli giving the smiley, not Haseo. So next time, I guess we'll find out what the hell our new friend Kun was talking about. So, we'll see you then.